r/ask Reddit. What fucked up thing did you do as a teen? When I was 12 I let a friend, wasn't a friend, douchebag kid who learned some really bad habits from his alcoholic drug addicted parents, convince me to break and enter into an abandoned house. About a month later I was giving a statement at a police station because someone tried to light a fire in a closet there. Either the other kid did it, probably, or someone else did and we both almost took a rap for that. I suspect the friend because he ended up in juvenile detention shortly after, and right before his parents got arrested for meth, and also right after their house mysteriously burned down. Shocker, if you keep your meth equipment in a fireproof safe, they discover that pretty fast after a fire, and investigators are pretty good at their job. At the age of 13 years old, I took the keys to my parents' Jeep and went joyriding through the neighborhood at 3 am. All was well, until I was speeding down the road in front of my house and lost control of the car going towards the end of the cul-de-sac. By some miracle, instead of flying off the cliff at the end of the cul-de-sac, I slammed into my neighbor's big concrete mailbox, breaking it in half, but saving my life. Amazingly, the car still worked. Radiator was a bit busted, but it still drove. I was so nervous putting the car up that when I was pulling into the garage, I accidentally hit the gas instead of the brakes, crashing into a little storage room in the corner of the garage. The next day, everyone was wondering what happened. Me, being so smart, I said I was skateboarding in the garage and ran into the wall, destroying the door and wall of the little room. I still have pictures included at the bottom of this comment. It didn't take long for my parents to know what had really happened, as my story was an obvious lie. This was about 16 years ago now. Bonus. Pictures from the incident. Full stop. Stole money out of one of those donation cans at my job for kids with cancer. Only got caught because the woman who comes to collect it each month noticed it was pretty empty, so my bosses checked on it more and caught me once on the CCTV when I wasn't being sneaky enough. Totally fucked up on my part. I was fired. They didn't press charges and I did return the money plus more. More funny than fucked up. I live in the boonies. When I had my graduation party we needed to put something out at the end of our driveway for people to find us. So, my best friend volunteered to flag people down. We proceeded to duct tape him to the telephone pole, write "party here" on it across his chest, stuck a lip joints in his mouth and left him there for an hour while people showed up. It worked marvelously and we cut him down when we heard police sirens. If you guys know the ride the waltzes, always there at UK fairs, there was a sign that said topless girls go free, so me, F, and few other friends went on for free for a laugh. We were teens, under 18, and the ride works by men spinning the seat things by hand. They took photos of us whilst spinning and nothing we could do about it. We just laughed at the time. It didn't feel fucking up then, but knowing some guy somewhere has photos of me topless just so I could save £3 feels a bit fucked up now. I was 15 at the time and decided to take my older brother's car for a quick ride. He was out with his friends and left the keys at home. I was by myself. I only went up the street and back down. I probably drove for about 2 minutes tops. Anyway, I arrived back at my house and parked the car up. There was one slight issue. I wasn't happy with my parking, so I decided to reverse out of my driveway and straighten up. Now, my brother's car didn't have a right-sided mirror. It was missing when he bought it. I foolishly didn't pay attention to the car parked in the sideway opposite and crashed into it. I parked back in the drive and ran inside. This was in the evening, so it was quite dark and I couldn't see the damage. I didn't sleep that night and stayed up looking out of my bedroom window. Eventually around 7 am I see the owner of the car with his head in his hands as there was a dent in his door. I felt like shit but was too pussy to own up. I checked my brother's car and luckily it didn't have a scratch. I think about this a lot and how much of a shitty and stupid move it was. about 9th-10th grade, I hung out with kids that found entertainment by blowing shit up and lighting things on fire. The creme of the crop was when we'd put Works toilet bowl cleaner into plastic 2-liter bottles with balls of aluminum foil, cap it, shake it, toss it, and run like our lives depended on it. The explosion could be heard from a few streets over. That phase ended once the kids from the adjacent neighborhood rode in on their bikes and introduced us to the devil's lettuce. Looking back, I'm thankful that we never really got in trouble for any of it. There was a really annoying kid who kept pestering me to get him drugs, and I wasn't a drug dealer or even well connected. So after a couple of weeks of this, I soaked some blotter paper in aspirin water and sold him a sheet of acid for $100. Turns out he didn't want to do any drugs. He wanted to be a hustler and make money. This resulted in him getting his ass kicked after selling it all to unsatisfied customers at the club. Don't worry, karma came back and whooped my ass just as hard in the preceding years. When I still in high school, I used to spend overnights during the summer with an older lady in her house to be an aide in case she needed anything. I'd sneak out most nights and a friend would pick me up so we could get high or drunk. I'd also sneak guys in from time to time to hook up. The older lady was very independent, so I never got caught because she didn't need much help overnights. But I still regret it to this day. Shitty thing to do. When I was 16-17, I would tell my mom I was sick and she would call into the school. At around 10 or so, I would tell her I was feeling better and that I was going to head back to school. I would then go over to my older cousins, who I wasn't supposed to hang out with because he was a junkie, and we would go to the titty bar for $7 pitchers of beer. My father had died that summer and I suddenly had a trust income of $1,600 a week with no oversight. I spent so much money on cocaine and strippers by the time I graduated. Just a lot of mischief shit in a small town. Ran around doorbell ditching, lighting off fireworks to run from the cops. When there was no fireworks, we used the works to make fireworks. Looking back, that was really fucking dumb considering we were basically just building a bomb. One that really sticks to me is when we used to go around scaring the fuck out of people in their windows at night. I had my scream mask on all night and crept up to this big window where a woman was watching TV. I slowly taped my fingers on the glass. She looked over and then did a double take before, I swear to God, she jumped from her ass 10 feet up in the air, screaming. We were idiots, but in a small town of 2K there's only so much to do. Faced with tears of joy. Bank fraud. Before the internet, my friend stole a new, unused credit card from a letterbox and we used our school's first computer and basic programming language to work out all the possible PIN combinations from the available numbers on the card. The printer spewed out a whole stack of paper with hundreds of thousands of 4-digit combinations. We decided to try a few numbers whenever we were out on our BMX bikes in the evening. The third number was the actual PIN number. We withdrew £20 each and got scared, so gave the card and number to someone's older brother who did thousands of pounds worth of damage. We got found out because a friend told another friend, etc. The police came to our school and escorted us out of the morning assembly, in front of the whole school. We were too young for the bank to press charges and just got a good old British telling off from the police. The banking system was apparently changed so that the PIN number of any new credit card sent through the post could not be a combination of the numbers on the card. We were also told that we'd never be able to open an account with that particular bank. I've never tried. Bank fraud. Before the internet, my friend stole a new, unused credit card from a letterbox and we used our school's first computer and basic programming language to work out all the possible PIN combinations from the available numbers on the card. The printer spewed out a whole stack of paper with hundreds of thousands of 4-digit combinations. We decided to try a few numbers whenever we were out on our BMX bikes in the evening. The third number was the actual PIN number. We withdrew £20 each and got scared, so gave the card and number to someone's older brother who did thousands of pounds worth of damage. We got found out because a friend told another friend, etc. The police came to our school and escorted us out of the morning assembly, in front of the whole school. We were too young for the bank to press charges and just got a good old British telling off from the police. The banking system was apparently changed so that the PIN number of any new credit card sent through the post could not be a combination of the numbers on the card. We were also told that we'd never be able to open an account with that particular bank. I've never tried.